Okay, here's me ranking every Lorde song, or at least all the Lorde songs that are here. I'll just do it in the order that they give it to me in. Okay, starting with 400 Lux. This is an S tier song. I think it is an S tier song because I think it captures its atmosphere really well. It's very laid back. All the lyrics make sense with the sound of it, and it's a classic. Like you give me orange juice. It's actually you buy me orange juice. Um, but you can't argue with that. That's just perfect. I'll probably explain it more once I have to make them fight against other songs. Okay, A World Alone. Even though personally I think this is like one of my favorite Tur ones on Pure Heroine, I don't think it's quite S tier. I do think it's A tier. It's very reminiscent of teenage years, being an outcast dancing in a world alone, but you're dancing in a world alone with me. You know, the line, they're studying business, I study the floor. That is a good line. Um, but I think overall sonically, it's like not as polished or polished slash clean slash cohesive as some of the other songs on Pure Heroine. It's still really good. Still a good time. It makes me feel sad. Okay, next song, Big Star. Already a solar power song. So this song is interesting because this is about her dog who died. Rest in peace, her dog, Pearl. I think her name was Pearl. Um, while this song, yeah, like all the other Solar Power songs, this song's kind of boring, but I think it's one of the better boring songs on Solar Power, mainly because I think the melodies are better. It really builds its somberness a lot better than all of the other songs on Solar Power. Plus, it's about her dog, so like that's pretty messed up if I like rate her dead dog song below B. So I'll give it a B. Okay, Biting Down, bonus track from Pure Heroine. This song, I remember reading somewhere that Lorde said about this song that it's about the feeling of biting down or just that emotion where you have to bite down on something to just let it out. Like the lyrics are, it feels better biting down, listen till the beats resound. I don't really know what that means. Like biting down on a belt when you're getting whipped. Or not when you're getting whipped. You get whipped by belts. When you're getting hurt and you have to bite on a belt, so like you're like exerting the pain on something else. Um, Yeah, honestly, I don't think this song actually means anything. But the percussion in this song is sick. The vocals, they're okay. They're very Pure Heroine, very minimalistic. I think the percussion really saves it. But other than that, it doesn't really have much going for it. So I'll give it a solid C. It's not D because it's an interesting song. It's just not something that I would listen to regularly, and I feel like she doesn't really know what she was talking about when she wrote it. But that's just my opinion. Bravado. Ooh, this is a great song. So this is from her Love Club EP, and what is this song really about? Let me think of the lyrics in the chorus. Um, well, she says, I want the applause, the approval of things that make me go." And I think this is probably talking about her coming up as an artist, her wanting that, her trying to figure out if she wants that fame, if she wants that bravado, or if it's something that kind of scares her. Um, One of my favorite lyrics from this song is "Lick my lips, toss my hair." It's very tongue in cheek, and I think that plays well into like her not knowing if she wants to really take this famous persona or if she still wants to be that little girl from New Zealand, wherever in New Zealand she's from. I don't think New Zealand is a real place either. Um, but yeah, the percussion in this song is great. The vibe is great. Her vocal delivery is great. I think that this is an S tier song. Is it better than 400 Lux? I think it is better than 400 Lux. Um, I think that's a controversial opinion, but I don't care. Okay, Buzzcut Season. Easily the best song so far that we've encountered. Buzzcut Season is incredible from Pure Heroine. It's very, very somber. It's kind of like glockenspielish, some sort of like percussive instrument that's like the doo 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 that goes through the whole song. It's very, I don't know, the vibe of it. It's like mystical, but also like pretty impending doom ish. And that goes really well with the lyrics because Buzz Cut Season is literally alluding to, when like men get their get their heads buzz cut when they're going into the military. It's all about that. It's all about how humanity's low key about to destroy the Earth. Um, she says, "I live in a hologram with you." Hologram fake. She's trying to find some sort of escapism, kind of reminiscent of A World Alone, but this one's a lot more apocalyptic. Well, A World Alone is much more like, oh, we're outcasts, like, oh, we don't fit in. That's why I think Buzzcut Season is definitely a better version of World Alone. Not that they're like the same at all, but I think one does the message better, and the whole entire sound of Buzzcut Season is a lot more cohesive and connects more with its lyrical content, so that's why I think it is the best song here, but also because I have memories of listening to Buzzcut Season lying on the ground in the dark in the closet, physically in the closet, and I like that. It felt good. Okay, California, Solar Power. This, I believe, is one of the better songs from Solar Power. Even though the lyrical content is pretty basic and boring, she literally just sings about how she doesn't want that California love. Like, she's not about that fame. She's a New Zealand girl. She doesn't want to be an LA girl, you know? Pretty basic. I do like the one of the opening lines where it's like, um, once upon a time in Hollywood when Carol called my name, referring to the Grammys. Um, but then she also referred to when she was nominated for Grammy of the Year, they didn't allow her to do a solo performance. I think that is a really good callback and a really good perspective into her career. But other than that, this song is pretty boring. She drops Supreme in it, which is pretty funny. It's pretty boring. I do think it's better than Big Star, solely by the fact that its sonical qualities align a lot more with its lyrical qualities. Like, this song is very beachy, very easy to listen to, and I think that's pretty much the only thing it has going for it. So, definitely worse than A Roll Alone, but better than Big Star. Okay. Dominoes. Ooh. Ooh. This song, I have a vendetta against this song. Not because I don't think it's a bad song, I just think it's incredibly boring. First of all, it starts with ambulance sounds like sirens in the background, and Lorde got into a little bit of a controversy with this because she was like, "Oh yeah, I just wanted to include the sounds of the ambulances that was in the back of our recording studio because I thought it really captured the mood of the summer." But people weren't sure if she was talking about the ambulances from climate protests, because Solar Power is very much like a pro-climate, anti-global warming album, but she may have also recorded it during the Black Lives Matter movement, which would be problematic because why would she keep that in her album when it's like a happy summer album when that's definitely a serious topic. I still don't know. Maybe people do know. I don't know. But I don't really like that. Another reason why I don't like the song. But also this song is just it's just boring. It's like I watch you flick 'em down like dominoes. What's so good about being Mr. Start Again or something like it's like cheeky, it's cute, but it doesn't really do much. Plus, one of the lines is like, no, the opening line literally is, "I heard that you were doing yoga with Uma Thurman's mother." Like, does she know Uma Thurman? Does she know Maya Hawke? If so, maybe they should collab. Anyway, not my favorite. She also talks about marijuana and cocaine in this song, which is funny. Okay, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. This was for, I think, one of the soundtracks. I think it might have been Catching Fire, one of the Hunger Games soundtracks. Um, This is a pretty nice soundtrack song. It's the cover of Everybody Wants to Rule the World by I don't remember the name of the band. I'm so sorry. I'm a child. But the atmosphere is great. It does really great for the movie that it's a part of. Yeah, I think it does a really great job at just being what it is. There's nothing really much else going for it except that it's a pretty nice rendition of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. So I'd say it's worse than A World Alone. I think it is better than California solely because it's a little more interesting than California, but it's okay. Fallen Fruit, okay. Fallen Fruit, this is a good one. I really like this one. The atmosphere of this one is definitely a standout moment on Solar Power because it isn't the beachy, flowy vibe that we've gotten for all of Solar Power. So yeah, I really appreciate that in Fallen Fruit. The melodies are great in this song. The verses and the chorus melodies are fantastic. And the production on this is very, very interesting. It captures your attention. It's kind of spooky, eerie, and I think that really fits the lyrical content of this song, which talks about our Earth is literally gonna die in a ball of fire, and our future generations won't be able to live a happy life because our Earth is actually gonna fall apart at the seams. Good song, great song. I really like Fallen for it. I think it has really good moments and it's a fun listen. So S. But is it worse than 400 Lux? I think objectively it's worse than 400 Lux. Anyway, Glory and Gore. This song is one of the more interesting songs on Pure Heroine. The percussion is great. The lyrics are really interesting. She mentioned the gladiators. Love a gladiator reference. Um, yeah, honestly, I like it. It's very edgy. Glory and Gore go hand in hand. It's a very interesting listen, very pleasant listen. And yeah, the percussion on this album is great. This is no exception. I think this song is better than A World Alone. I wouldn't say it's quite S tier because I feel like it's a little messy with like the really heavy synth in the chorus. So I'm gonna give it an A tier because I feel like it could be polished a little more, but it's still a pretty nice song. Um, yeah, Green Light. So Green Light, lead single off of Melodrama. I know a lot of people had mixed feelings about Greenlight because people wanted a lot more experimentalism from Lorde after Pure Heroine came out, but instead she came out with a really polished pop song, which is Greenlight. And well, I do think that the opening two lines are hit and miss. Um, I do my makeup in somebody else's car. We order different drinks at the same bars. I know about what you did, and I want to scream the truth. She thinks you love the beach, but you're such a damn liar. Like, like I get what she was going for. It feels just the tiniest bit awkward because I don't know, like the non-rhyming lyrics, they're pretty out there. I think that's the one pitfall that this song has, but everything else is pretty perfect. The synth, the drum work, everything is pretty polished. Plus the final climactic moment in the third chorus is great. It's definitely a dance song, definitely a song to just listen to, cathartic, just fun, like great fun time. And you can't really ask more than that from a nice pop song. I do think it's definitely S tier. Greenlight's amazing, but it's not as good as Buzzcut Season, unfortunately. Next one, Helen of Troy. So this is one of the two bonus tracks from Solar Power. Helen of Troy. Let's hear it for the girls living in the modern world. Okay, honestly, I think this song's a little bit annoying. Um, I like the message, but it comes off as a little bit pretentious, a little bit annoying. The melody isn't my favorite melody. I do like how her voice goes up, where it's like, let's hear it for the girls living in the modern world, and then she goes up. It gives you like a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of, ooh, and what are we gonna find out? Some anticipation. But other than that, it's pretty boring. One of the worser songs off of Solar Power. I give it a C. Definitely not as good as Biting Down, simply because it's not as interesting. But it's listenable. Like, if you want to listen, go ahead, I guess. Hard Feelings Loveless. This is a very interesting one. This is the only double song that Lorde has, like, separated by slash. I'll start with Hard Feelings. I think Hard Feelings is perfect. The entire atmosphere, if you feel like you're actually, like, in a heart, like, in a beating heart, everything feels super hazy, super humid. And the instrumental breakdown at the bridge is beautiful. It's super messy, super clangy. I don't know if that's a word, but super harsh, super messy, super loud. And I think that goes really well with what this song is trying to describe: hard feelings of love, like going through heartbreak. You feel all of these emotions that could equate to a bunch of really harsh screaming sounds. And that is honestly one of the best highlights off of Melodrama. It's a incredible moment in this song. Also, this song uses silence really well. So I think this song the dynamics of the song, the lyrical content, the vibes of it, all perfect. It then transitions into Loveless, which is the second part of the song, and the percussive transition into it, plus the sampling from, I think, a docuseries where the man says, "This is my favorite tape." Yeah, I think that's really interesting. It goes into Loveless, which is a very snappy, kind of, again, tongue-in-cheek song. I think the one thing that it kind of lacks is the ending. It fades out, which is a very common theme in melodrama, but I think this fade out wasn't really necessary. I think it could have just ended there. I think a better fade out was in the hard feelings fade out, because that actually makes sense, because it's like the lingering feelings of love. But Loveless is a lot more angry, a lot more punctual, and I feel like a fade out doesn't really work to its benefit there. But I do think that this song is absolutely incredible, especially hard feelings. I'm gonna put it above Greenlight, below Buzzcut Season still, but Hard Feelings, if Loveless wasn't a thing, even though Loveless is still good, I think Hard Feelings would go above Buzzcut Season. But since Loveless is attached, it must go below. Hold No Grudge, the other of the two bonus tracks off of Solar Power. This one, I think, is definitely the better of the two bonus tracks off of Solar Power. Fun fact about Hold No Grudge is that the chorus is actually an interpolation of Toxic by Britney Spears, which I think is incredibly interesting. Um, but I think Hold No Grudge really shows Lorde's maturity as a songwriter and just as a person in general, because she talks about how, you know, her relationship didn't work out, but she's not going to hold a grudge because she's not that kind of person. She's going to move on, she's going to live her life. And I think that the contrast between the verse and the verse is very dark, very brooding, but the chorus is a lot happier and a lot more chill. And I feel like that works to her advantage because she's going through like the breakup through her verses, but she's talking about holding no grudge, living her life in the chorus, which works very well. It's a very nice listen. I think I'm gonna put it in A. Good solar power song. Not as good as A World Alone, I don't think. It could be. I feel like these could be interchangeable, but I'll just leave it here. It's nice. Homemade Dynamite. Homemade Dynamite, great song. We love Homemade Dynamite, just like a nice little dance track. The trap beat is really nice. Her flow in the pre-chorus, where she's talking about things coming out of the woodwork, I'll give you my best lies, telling you my best. I said that backwards, but you know what I mean. That flow is super nice. The chorus is kind of off-kiltering, because yeah, the melody doesn't go where you think it's gonna go, and I think that's really interesting. Plus, the lyrical content in the second verse is incredible. We'll end up painted on the road, red and chrome, all the broken glass sparkling, I guess we're partying. That image is absolutely beautiful, yet unsettling, and I think that's one of her best lyrics on Melodrama. Plus, the bridge post-chorus ishing where she gives a little explosion sound. Very cute, does feel very homemade because of that. But other than that, I think it's just a very solid song. So I'm gonna give it an A. I don't think it's as good as Fallen Fruit, but it's very solid, very fun song. If the Homemade Dynamite remix was on here, it's not on here unfortunately. If it was on here, I'd honestly place it higher because I think the remix does a really great job at utilizing Post Malone, Khalid's, and SZA's presences. So yeah, I'd put it probably an S if the remix was here. Ladder Song. So this is a song from, I think, Mockingjay Part 1 soundtrack, the soundtrack that Lorde curated. And, okay, I don't know much about the lyrical content of Ladder Song. It might even be a cover, I'm not sure. But as I've said before in a lot of other Lorde songs, this just captures the atmosphere really well, especially for the Hunger Games soundtrack. It does that very well. I wouldn't say that this is like a great song, mainly because I don't really know much about it, and it's like kind of boring because it's all about the vibes. It's all about, you know, Hunger Games, dystopia, kind of dark. But I think if you decontextualize the song, it doesn't really have much going for it. So I'm gonna put it below Helen of Troy because at least this has a lot more context outside of Solar Power. This latter song, it doesn't really do it, but it's still okay. Leader of a New Regime. So this, I think, is one of my more unpopular opinions about Lorde's discography, is that I think Leader of a New Regime is one of the best songs off of Solar Power. It's just a little interlude, probably like 1.5 minutes, talking about how Lorde isn't gonna be the leader of a new regime. Like, she can't lead an entire generation because a lot of people are like, oh, Lorde's album defines these parts of my life, but she's explaining how she can't be that person all the time. Like, we need to find the leader of the new regime. Like, it can't be me. Maybe it's not you, but maybe someone out there will be it. Plus, the opening line, wearing SPF 3000 for the ultraviolet rays. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Yeah, it's a short, sweet little song. It is kind of dark, but I think the melody plus the minimalistic production really does good things to this song. So I'm gonna put it, I think this is an A tier song. Definitely above B tier. I wouldn't say it's better than Hold on Grudge, definitely not, but I think as a sweet little nugget of solar power, it's good. Liability Reprise. Okay, so this is the reprise to Liability in Melodrama. Another interlude-ish song. It's fairly short, and while it doesn't do much musically or sonically, it's very much needed in the story of Melodrama because of its lyrics. It's talking about how Lorde is growing as a person, how she reflects back to the point where she thought she was a liability, and she realizes that she actually isn't. She's better than that. And I think that's very, very important for the story of Melodrama as a concept album. Well, I wouldn't really listen to this outside of the album because it's just like two in something minutes of just, reflection. It is very nice, very serene. The vocoder in it does really well, and there's like one like little like circular. I can only describe it as a soft circular sound at the end where she just says "leave" in the track ends. I think that's a very beautiful way to finish that track. So I'm gonna put it in B, mainly because it would be if I had to rank the albums, then this we couldn't leave this out of the album. But since I'm ranking the individual songs, it's gonna have to go in B because it's just as a song itself, it's not that interesting, but as a song in an album, it's incredible. Liability. Liability is incredible, as we all know. Super sad, talking about how she is a liability, how she feels like that in a relationship she's kind of the one that's always causing a burden to her partner. The lyrical content in this is so beautiful, so tragic. One of my favorite parts is when she's like, so I guess I'll go home into the arms of the girls that I love, the only love I haven't screwed up. But then all that you'll see is one girl stroking her cheek. So, a little quick witty twist to that. If you're listening to the song, you kind of have to pay attention to know that she's not a lesbian. Um, but yeah, Liability is so heartbreaking, so tragic. It's definitely out of Lorde's normal realm to be recording a piano ballad, but she does an incredible job. There's some guitar in there too, and the final lyrics are "You're all gonna watch me disappear into the sun." The image of that is beautiful. I always thought that she was physically gonna burn into the sun. Obviously, that's not what it means, but I'm gonna take it as that because it's a lot more melodramatic, pun intended. Yeah, incredible song, pretty perfect, pretty sad if you want to cry, and I think it does an incredible job at making you want to cry. So S tier, above Buzzcut Season for sure. Magnets. So this isn't actually a Lorde song. She's featured on it on Disclosure's album. I can't remember the name. It's like Carcoal or something. Um, this is a nice, fun pop track. Again, it doesn't really have much going for it because it's Lorde is featured on it, so she probably didn't have much say into the song, but the song is very catchy, very fun to listen to. The percussion's nice. The intro and the percussion is like kind of fuzzy, kind of crisp too throughout the song. Also, in the music video, Lorde does a great performance. She does a great job. I haven't really considered ranking Magnets because it's not her song, but it's definitely a B tier. I'm gonna put it above Everybody Wants to Rule the World because this, as a standalone, works a lot better than Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Plus, sometimes you just gotta vibe, and Magnets is very much that song. Million Dollar Bills, also from her Love Club EP. This is one of the more out there Lorde songs, I would say. Not very much cohesive in her discography as a whole, but it is a very fun song, very electronic. And sometimes she's just got a ball. Million dollar bills in the tick tick tick. Sometimes you just gotta make that bank. And she's doing that here. It's fun. It's catchy. Is it a little bit annoying? Absolutely. But I feel like that adds to it because as I said before, she's just trying to make a quick little $1 million so she can, live her life. Also, she mentions cats. It's like there's nothing I want than money and time. I can't remember, but she said something about cats, and I like cats. So at least B. I don't think it's better than California, but I do think it's better than Big Star solely from a fact where it's a lot more interesting. The sound fits a lot. Well, no, Big Star is okay, but I don't know. This is a lot more interesting and fun. Mood Ring. So I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Mood Ring. This is, I think, her second single, or no, third single from Solar Power. I I am a little annoyed by it because the sound is very nice. It's very fun, not upbeat, but it definitely has a groove to it. Definitely could have come out during the early 2000s, and she mentions that in the song, which is pretty interesting, I think. So sonically, I think it's really catchy, really fun, really nice to listen to. But lyrically, it's just a little bit annoying because she releases during not during the middle, but like still during the pandemic, and she's talking about wellness culture, how we can't be buying vitamins from celebrities that we see on the television, but also she's a celebrity, rich, she's like living her best life while a lot of other people are suffering, and I think that is a little bit tone deaf. Um, but I think if you decontextualize it from what's going on right now, I think it's a fine message. Like she does it pretty okay, I guess. Um, so I'm gonna put it in B, I think. Below Leader of a New Regime, below Hold No Grudge. Um, I think as a song, it's a pretty nice song, but I think lyrically and contextualized in society, it's a little bit iffy. But I think B is a good place for it. No Better, also a song from her Love Club EP. This is a super fun song. We roll in every summer with the strength in our numbers. Like this is about her friends, about just going around doing her thing as a teenager, like living her best life. I feel like that's all I need to say about this song. It's just super fresh, kind of electronic too, just super fun and fresh. I think fun and fresh. A tier definitely. I don't think it's better than Leader. Actually, it might be. I think it's better than Leader of a New Regime as a song. No Better. It's just super fun, super light, does what it needs to do. So, A tier. Oceanic Feeling. Oof. Okay, so this is the last song on Solar Power. It's a monstrous 6 and something minute song, and the one thing I just can't get behind in this song is that it's so boring. Like, yeah, I know that Solar Power is supposed to be about, you know, the beach, relaxing in the sun, but pretty much this song is oceanic feeling because there's cicadas. That's one of the noises. There's so much wind. There's water, and I get that it's supposed to create an atmosphere. It's supposed to create a vibe, but the vibe I'm getting is boredom. I'm not interested. The lyrical content, though, is very cute. It's talking about growing up, how she maybe wants to start a family, how she doesn't have to use the black cherry lipstick in her drawer anymore because she's like not that angsty emo teenager that she once was. But as a song, it's a drag. It's a 6 minute drag, and I couldn't bring myself to listen to the entire thing because I think I would fall asleep because the wind. It's the wind. D tier. Better than Dominoes solely because of what it's going for, but could not listen to it. Perfect Places, the final track on Melodrama. I love this song. This song's super fun. The percussion's super fun. I listen to this song so much, so I definitely am a little bit biased, but I think it's just such a carefree, cathartic song that just makes you feel good because she's reminding you what are perfect places anyway. You don't have to find a perfect place to really settle down and find peace in your life. I think that comes from within. Lorde is kind of giving us like a guru lesson in Melodrama at the end. Like, what are perfect places? Do what you want, find whatever place you can make your home and make it your home. Super fun, super fresh, plus the pre-chorus, the sound she makes like she's loading a gun because she's blowing her brains out to the radio. Super fun. Plus the articulation in the second verse where she's talking about kissing someone and then taking off her clothes. Like, yeah, I know Melodrama is all about partying and how sometimes partying doesn't really get you to the greatest place. But sometimes also if you just want to like hook up with someone, go do that. Perfect Places, super fun, super nice, super super fun to listen to. I think it's a worse. It's not as great as Bravado. I think it's better than 400 Lux, so I'm gonna put it there. Okay, Ribs. Oof. So Ribs, it has a very special place in Lord's fandom, mainly because Ribs is that song, the song that hurts you right to your core because it's about being afraid of getting old, longing about the nostalgia of the past, feeling like you don't want to let go of your innocence in your childhood. It does that super super well based on the lyrical content, based on the rhythm that she sings. She sings in a pretty fast pace, but it's also not at a regular tempo. I don't know. She progressively gets faster singing it, which makes it feel a lot more urgent. Plus, there's some like droning synths in the background that make you feel kind of like in a haze. Um, like you're in your head thinking about the past and being afraid of the future, and that anxiety is very much communicated through the synth that feels like I don't know, yeah, it feels like you're in a haze. It's really an incredible experience if you listen to it super loud, just like with your eyes closed, like just letting your mind wander within the song. It's great. It builds its atmosphere perfectly. The lyrics are relatable and it hurts. And I think that's why a lot of people love it, and that's why I love it. I do think it is S tier #1 so far. Royals. The breakout hit from Lorde. Everyone knows Royals. We'll never be Royals. Royals. You know that? We all know that. Um, yeah, not my favorite song. I get the message, she's not about that Gucci lifestyle. Like, she can't have all those shiny little things. She's from New Zealand. We all know she's from New Zealand. So, um, I mean, I guess that's all it has going for it. The percussion's pretty nice, it's pretty minimalistic. Really, really brought the wave of minimalistic music into mainstream music. Really did that. Was a trendsetter. But as a song, not that interesting. Pretty dull, kind of drags. I'm gonna put it in D tier. Sorry, Royals. You're better than Oceanic Feeling, though. Actually, are you? Yeah, you are. Sorry, Oceanic Feeling. Anyway, Secrets of a Girl Who's Seen It All. This is what Lorde calls kind of the kind of like the sister song to Ribs because it's kind of telling Lorde when she wrote Ribs, it's gonna be okay. I like me right now, I'm a girl and I know the secrets that you don't know because I'm you from the future. Anyway, this song is kind of annoying. It's really cute is how I can say it. It does kind of sound like California, but California is a lot more dreamy. This one's just a lot more cute, fun. I would say lighthearted. Definitely not one of my favorite songs off of Solar Power. Is all that it has going for is that it's cute. Like we can wish the best for Lorde, but it's not the best song. So what can I say? Um, but also it has a spoken outro by Robin, which I think is really cool. We love Robin, but I'm not a fan of spoken outros. It does make it a little better that she's acting as a flight attendant in the spoken outro, but I think at the end of the day I find it a little boring, a little annoying. Like I don't want to listen to a spoken outro. I'd probably just skip it at that point if I'm even listening to this song. So C tier. Worse than Big Star. Big Star is like okay, Sober 2 Melodrama. Kind of the turning point in melodrama. It's the title track, obviously, part 2 of Sober, which we're ranking next for some reason. Yeah, Sober 2 is really interesting in the fact where it opens with strings, but then it brings in a really heavy trap beat after. And I think this song works super well, kind of as an interlude again, because it's part 2 of Sober is talking about what happens after the party, what happens when you sober up and you're cleaning up all the champagne glass on the floor. Like, what happens then? What are you left with? And I think that is super interesting, very pivotal in melodrama. The song itself, it hits really hard. Again, it's really atmospheric, it's really heavy, it's really, yeah, I think that's how I would describe it. It's really heavy on you. And I think it does a really great job at being that pivotal moment in melodrama. Really melodramatic. So she really nailed the head, whatever. I would say this is an A tier song for sure. Better than this. I'd say I put it right there. I think Sober 2 is a great listen. It makes you feel a lot of emotion. And I think that is what she was going for. So A tier. Sober. Okay. So this is part 1 of Sober/Sober 2. And this song is just talking about how what are we gonna do when we're sober? Like right now, we're like kind of hitting it off, but is that just the alcohol talking? That kind of song. And I think she does it really well because this feels super claustrophobic. The murmuring in the background that pans from left to right is very haunting, and it feels like there's like whispers in your ear happening all the time, where it's like that doubt that's creeping in that you don't know if you should listen to. There are horns in this song, which is super pleasant to listen to, super surprising as well. The cadence of this song is really, it's not, I don't know. I want to say it's not symmetrical, which doesn't make any sense, but it's got a little groove to it. And there are some really fun moments in this song, like everything goes silent and she's talking about Jack and Jill, but she's making it in like a really explicit image. That's really interesting. Plus, this has a really nice lion roar or tiger roar right before the outro. These are all really interesting instrumental tidbits that I think really help bring this song to life. But yeah, it does a good job at really setting up the story of the house party in melodrama. So I think this is A tier. I think it's gonna go below hold no, I'll put it right there. I think it's a little wait, it's better than Sober 2. I put it above Sober 2. Right here seems good. Solar Power. The lead single from Lorde's album Solar Power. So, the first time I heard this song, I was like, wait, that's it? Like, I was kind of annoyed by how short and how uneventful it was, but listening back to it, like, the build up to the final chorus was pretty fun. She really makes you wait for it because there's no first chorus. There's just one chorus at the end, and it's pretty fun. The line, that she's a prettier Jesus. That's hilarious because her name is Lorde. She did a great job there. As much as I think this song is hated on, I think it's pretty okay. It does exactly what Solar Power wants to do, in which it makes you want to feel like you're on a beach. And yes, I feel like I'm on a beach when I listen to this song. Does it make me want to play volleyball on the beach? No. But does it make me want to like drink, a glass of water since I'm not 21 on the beach? Absolutely. Maybe a Capri Sun, you know? So I think it's a pretty okay song. I'd definitely put it above California, solely because it's got a little bit more oomph than California when it comes to Solar Power's motifs. So I put it right there. Still Sane. Still Sane is a pretty interesting song. It's super minimalistic, one of the most minimalistic, if not the most minimalistic song on Pure Heroine. She opens the song with "Today is my birthday and I'm riding high." Like, yeah, that's a great opening line. She's talking about how she's not in the swing of things, how only bad people live to see the light. The something about only bad people live to see because bad things happen to good people. I think there's a lot of great lines in here. It is interesting, even though it is super minimalistic, and I think that works in his favor. As a standalone song, it's not like my favorite. It's not something that you're probably going to listen to individually, but I think if you really want to take the time to try to dissect it, it is a good and rewarding listen. So I'm gonna put it. I'll put it up. Yeah, I'll put it above No Better. It's super interesting. Would recommend. Stone at the Nail Salon. This is the second single off of Solar Power, and the song is really sad. Um, it's like, oh, I could be living life, but I'm just stoned at the nail salon again. Like, it's like, how far is being stoned? How far is are drugs gonna really get you? You know, if that's what she's going for. Um, yeah, it's definitely there's some dread in here that she builds up with this song, and it's not really climactic because the whole message is, oh, I guess I'm just stoned at the nail salon again. Like, it's kind of sad at the end of the day. Um, Backing vocals from Phoebe Bridgers and Clairo, always a plus. Even though I think this song is generally not that sonically interesting, I do think that it has some things going for it. The melodies they're pretty okay. They do just enough to be able to be a good melody. So I'm gonna put it in B. I think it's worse than these songs. I think it's worse than Magnets. I don't know about that. Is it worse than Solar Power? Oh, it's getting a little hard. Wait, no. Magnets should be way lower. Magnets should be there. Stone at the nail salon. I'll put it here. I'll put it there. Okay. So, Supercut. Oh my gosh. I've been waiting for this moment. Supercut is, I think, the best song in Lorde's discography. It's a spoiler, but I think it is. There's just something so beautifully tragic about this song. It's talking about how after experiencing a heartbreak, all that she sees from the relationship is a supercut. You want to only imagine the good things in your relationship, and so she's singing the song, thinking about all the good things in the relationship and how she wants that to be the key takeaway. What she learned is that yeah, you grow from a relationship, it's tough and it hurts, but she wants to remember all these good things. And this is just heightened so well by the fact that it uses kind of the same piano sequence as Greenlight, the chords in sequence, and also it's not sonically it's not a sad song. It has a really nice beat. It gets you pumping, and I feel like that feels very good when like you're thinking on your relationship. Like your heart kind of races and you're thinking about all the good things that you're not gonna have anymore, but you're still grateful for the good things. I think it does an incredible job of that. Plus, during the bridge, there is some sort of vocal texture or something that covers her vocals in the beginning. Not in the beginning, during the bridge. And it kind of sounds like she's talking through her phone. And I think that is really it's very indicative of what this song is about because she's this is like you're listening to her voice. What is that? Voice whatever thing that people leave you when you miss their call. I don't remember what that's called.
Voicemail.
Voice memo. That
Voicemail.
voicemail. Yeah, it sounds like you're getting voicemail from her. Like you're on the receiving end. You're talking about, oh, look, I want to forgive and not fight. All the moments that we played in the dark, wild and fluorescent come home to my heart. Like she wants that, and it hurts so bad because you're on the receiving end of that. Plus the climactic moment on the last chorus where like the melody just changes a tiny bit is super perfect. Plus the outro on this song. It's a wavering synth that kind of goes back and forth from right to left. It's an over a minute outro of just the synth that's going back and forth. And to me that feels like the remnants of this relationship. Like you're kind of living in it, it's kind of fading away, but you're still holding on to it, and it feels super warm, super nice. Well, everything about the song is just perfect. I think this is a perfect song, and I think Lorde does an incredible job with this song. So good, cannot recommend enough. If you're gonna listen to any Lorde song, I think this is gonna be the one. It's so amazing. Swinging Party. So this is a cover. I don't know who it's by, so sorry. But it's a nice solemn cover. Actually, it might not be that solemn. It's kind of happy. But yeah, I think it's a nice cover. I don't know much about it, but listening to it feels good. I'm putting it all the way back in B because I don't know much about it. Sorry, Swinging Party. But yeah, it's a nice listen. Good vocals, good production, super simple. Nice. Team. So, also one of her breakout hits, one of the singles from Pure Heroine. This is a great song. Definitely a teenager wrote it, but the melody of the chorus is absolutely stunning, and so are some of the writing in here is super mature, super metaphoric, and super vivid. Like she describes acne as craters in the moon. Um, like she's living in cities that you'll never see on screens. Like she's not a part of that bougie lifestyle because she's from New Zealand, but she still has that community that really pulls her together and grounds her. And I think that this song incredible. Plus the intro is super disorienting, super spooky, and I think that the fact that this got radio play is incredible. One of Laura's best songs, I would say. Better than Fallen for Is it better than 400 Lux? I'd say it's a little better. Let's put it up here. Wait, let's put it up there. I love Team. Team is a fantastic song. Okay. Next song, Tennis Court. Ooh, another single from Pure Heroine. This also got radio play. Let's go down to the tennis court and talk it up like yeah. I think she released this after her initial fame broke out from Royals, and I think it is kind of giving the media and the public like, yo, I'm a teenager. I don't really give a shit about anything. Like, I'm just gonna be my own person, and that's gonna be it. And I really admire Lorde for that, for releasing this song. You know, she's just trying to vibe with her New Zealand people again. Let's go New Zealand. Um, yeah, she's just trying to vibe with them. Go down to the tennis court, talk it up. You know, live your life, whatever, chill. It's pretty fun. It's a fun song to listen to. A nice, fun song to listen to. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it right there. No. I'm gonna put it right there. Yeah. Tennis court, great fun listen. Listen to it on the tennis court. Listen to it with your friends. You know, do what you gotta do. The Louvre, okay. Absolutely love The Louvre. This is a love song. At its core, this is a love song. She's completely infatuated, head over heels for this person. She loves them. She's writing this song for them. She's overthinking their punctuation use. She's gonna sit through hell and burn all of her friendships in order to spend time with this person because that's how much she is infatuated by them. And the pre-chorus, okay, the first pre-chorus is good. The second pre-chorus adds these little details in the back that just make it explode. It just makes it feel so much more intense and so much more beautiful, especially past the second verse, which ends with a nice little rhythm and groove that is different from the rest of the song. It just builds so well. Plus, the chorus is an anti-drop, which is, even though it might not be one of my favorite things, I think she does it incredibly well. She talks about her heart beating and how the bass in the chorus is her heart. Like, genius. Genius. Plus, the outro, another over a minute outro of guitar and synths, and it's beautiful. It's very like, oh, I have a crush and it feels really good, and I'm really glad I'm spending time with this person. You're just like lost in this haziness of being in love, and it's so, so beautiful. S tier, for sure. Above Buzzcut Season. Even though I love Buzzcut Season, S tier. The Love Club. Title track from the Love Club EP. Will be part of the Love Club. Everyone will... You know what? I don't really know. But it's just like, oh, part of the Love Club, you know, the other outcasts. Super fun. The percussion's super, super catchy. Honestly, this song is just super catchy, super fun. Definitely teenager. But that's not a bad thing. It's good. I like it. Well, I don't think I like it as much as California, which might be a sensitive topic for some people. I like it. Don't have much to say about it. The Man with the Axe. So, Solar Power song. Lorde said that she wrote this initially as a poem and then turned it into a song, and this is to her boyfriend, current boyfriend, ex-boyfriend that's a lot older than her, don't know. But as a poem, I think this works better as a poem. She didn't need to turn this into a song. It's pretty boring. The only thing that it really has going for is at the end there's a little bit of a change up where the melody gets a little more interesting and the percussion gets, not percussion, the production gets more interesting. Other than that, it's pretty much a drag. It is a cute love song slash poem, but I don't think we needed a 4-minute song of it. The concept is good. I like the metaphor of the man with the axe, but I think that as a song, it just does not work that well. So let's put it above Ladder Song. Okay, The Path. The opening track to Solar Power. See, this got my expectations for Solar Power really high, because I think The Path is a great song. The percussion in it is super, super fun. The intro vocals are super, like, mysterious and intriguing. It makes you want to keep listening to the album. And then it breaks out into this full-on, like, beachy moment that feels really good. And initially right here, this is kind of a reoccurring theme in Solar Power. She's talking about how she's not everyone's savior. Like, even though she would love to be everyone's savior, you can't look up to her as like a god. Like, she isn't gonna fix all your problems, and I feel like that's something that she had to learn from her own role models, which is why she's writing it in the path. I think this is a great opener track. I think it does its job very well. It's very listenable, very fun. Yes, love this track. I'd say put it right next to the opening track of Pure Heroine. Let's do it right there. White Teeth Teens. This is an unpopular opinion. So again, this is about how Lorde is not. It's not a white teeth teens. White teeth teens are out. Yeah, this song feels super summery. I think in the second verse, there's like, it sounds like a bomb is falling, which is really interesting to me. I think the message is really cute. I'm not a white teeth teen. I tried to join but never did. Like, yeah, you don't gotta be a white teeth teen. You don't gotta fit the beauty standards. You don't gotta be a popular person. Just like live your life, you know? Live your freaking life. But I think that's kind of it all has going for it. I think some of the melodies in the chorus are really nice, but I don't think that it's that interesting other than that. So I'm gonna put it below California. Is that insane? I think it is insane, but I'm gonna put it there. Sorry. So, next song, Writer in the Dark. This is also, I think, an unpopular opinion, but I think this might be my least favorite besides Liability Reprise from Melodrama. It is super sad because she's talking about how she will always love her ex, how she's gonna love her until until the cops get called on her. Like, she's gonna love you until her breathing stops. Like, that's how undying her love is, but she has to let it go, and that's why she's found the secret power where she can finally let go. And I think the strings are beautiful. Her vocal performance is beautiful. It definitely shows her range and her versatility as vocalist. But I think, again, that's pretty much all it has going for it. It is a very nicely written and performed song. That is what I can say. And I do enjoy listening to it. It's just not one of my favorites from Melodrama, but it is still a good song, so I'm gonna put it below the path. Okay, last song, Yellow Flicker Beat. So Yellow Flicker Beat is actually from, again, from the Mockingjay Part 1 soundtrack, and this is an original song by Lorde, and I think it does an absolutely phenomenal job at being a song from the Hunger Games soundtrack. The lyrics are super, super vivid, they feel dystopian, they feel good to listen to, the song feels dystopian, it's super heavy, everything is super loud and super intense, and I think that's perfect for Miss Katniss Everdeen trying to go and, like, overthrow an entire government that's corrupt, you know? I think it does an absolutely amazing job. It's a great listen. It's a great listen even if you don't want to watch the movie. And I think that whoever assigned her to curate this soundtrack knew what they were doing because this song is incredible. It does feel like it's from a soundtrack. It feels like you can hear this song playing when you're reading a book, like the most intense part of a book. The heroine is coming up to defeat everything. Like this song is playing in your ears, and it's so 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 good. Um, I'm gonna put it S tier for sure, especially for a soundtrack song. Amazing. Above Falling Fruit. So, this is my ranking. I think that I'm pretty content with this. I can at least say that Supercut is by far my favorite and Dominoes is by far my least favorite. Um, I feel like I could go into more depth about why these songs are above each other, but I think I gave pretty sufficient reasoning or thoughts for each individual song. So, yeah, Love Lord.